Today's discussion is about slope. We've been talking about linear equations. The most popular equation, the one that we'll be using, is y is equal to mx plus b. Now this equation is known as slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form, because the m represents your slope and the b represents your y-intercept. All we want to talk about today is just the m. What is slope? Well, slope is the steepness of a line. Steepness of a line, or I guess another word would be the incline of a line. If you ever looked at a house, it has a roof. It's kind of like that. Okay, my house drawing is not the best. Kind of at a slant. But the roof, this here has a slope from right here to right here. And what builders do is they read the plans to identify what type of steepness this roof would have. How they calculate it is doing this way. They calculate it by its distance on height going straight up and then going across. They call this the rise over the run. So they measure the distance here to its peak, and then over here, and they make a fraction out of it. Rise over run. Now, if you were going to look at, say, a line on a graph, like right here, let's draw us a line real quick. And we'll use a dark blue. Let's use this point and that point. Okay, we're going to name this point is a -2, -2. And this point is a 1, 2. 1, 2. Your x value, this is your x-axis, this is your y-axis. We always label the x first and then the y. Now, if this was the steepness of a roof, or if we want to find the slope of this line, what we would do is we would draw a line. Let's use this one here. We would go from this point, we would measure straight up until we got to the same height as the other point that we were looking at. So how many units would you say that we have on this rise? 1 unit, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 units here. So we would say that our rise is 4. Now, let's do the run. Go from this point over to right there. Now this is what we'd call the run. And we would say that it was 1, 2, 3 units. Now, if we were going to communicate this in slope, we would say the slope is 4 over 3. A rise of 4 and a run of 3. Now there's another way to find slope of any equation or of a line. Rather than using the rise over run method, we can use a formula. You go back up here. The formula for slope y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Now this formula requires 2 points. Let's go back to our example and let's pull off those 2 points we have. -2, -2, and 1, 2. Okay? We had one point of -2, -2, and the other was a 1, 2. Well, if we require 2 points, let's label these. This would be point 1, and this would be point 2. This we know to be our x, that's our y, x, and our y. So, if this is point 1, we put a 1 right there, and a 1 right there, and a 2 right here, and a 2 right here. Now, since we've labeled each of these, let's go back and plug it into the formula. Y sub 2, which is 2. Y sub 1, which is a -2, so minus a -2 over x sub 2, which is right here in front, 1, and then minus a -2. So let's do the formula, let's do the math. 2 minus a -2. Well, we know that 2 negatives together actually can make a positive. So 2 plus 2 is 4 over, and again 2 negatives make a positive. 1 plus 2 is 3. So this formula gives us the slope of 4 over 3, just like the rise over run method did on the graph. So there are 2 methods. If they give you points, if you're given points to be able to find the slope, you use the formula. If you're given a graph, then you use the method of rise over run, locating 2 points on the graph and measuring up and then over. Alright, that completes our discussion on slope and how to find it.